Hi, I'm Melanie Hans, and I'm the Geographic Information Systems Specialist on McGowan's Type 1 team. Basically, I make maps for firefighters. We produce products on the incident, and so the products we produce can be digital, they can be paper maps. We can upload them onto public information sites, so some of this information is live in ArcGIS Online, so when we pretty much sync the edits back into the cloud, people can see the data now on where the latest perimeter is, what containment we have. And that, gives people a better idea of how it's going. We make a variety of maps on the fire every day. So we make operational maps that people take in the field so they can orient where they are and where they are in relation to the fire, and so they can best put, resources on the ground. We make a briefing map in the morning, which is a very large map that everyone can see. Potential several hundred people will be staring at the map, and it's an overview to get everyone on the same page. We do make a transportation map because a lot of people are not familiar with the area, so it's important to point out roads, and we're also adding features that are not normally on the ground, like drop points, staging areas. So we also make progression maps, and progression maps kind of show the daily changes in the fire perimeters. So those are important for the fire behavior analyst to see, what kind of weather conditions led to what kind of fire growth, if there's any geographic features that how the fire grew, or where it was moving. We make public information maps, so people can, the general public can see where they are, where the fire is located versus where they are on the ground. We try to show up and get as much base data as possible, which would be your roads, natural features, campgrounds, etc. I do enjoy the operations map because that's one of those you're going to get a lot of feedback. That's the kind of mission critical map that we make. It's really important to know who our audience is, and it's also important that people can read our map. So it's one of those I always try to make sure that my stuff is colorblind friendly because people have different visual impairments. People, can see color differently. People can see, fonts differently, and have the appropriate sizing to make sure that, the products that we produce, people are able to read them. So, nothing would be worse than to spend all the time and effort that we do trying to produce products that nobody can read. It's always good to make map products in that you're being used, or know that it is helping people, whether it's boots on the ground or people that live in the neighborhood. So it's always nice to have products that are being used, and you're doing a pretty good job to help out. So we always have challenges. So the challenges can be in any way, shape, or form, whether we're working with our laptop on the cooler outside the tent, whether we're trying to get a plotter so we can print large-scale maps, trying to put all of these different sources of data that come from all different places, all different agencies, and so we're trying to get everything, so we sort through it, try to get the best of everything to put on a map so that people can do their jobs. Because a lot of the firefighters are coming in from all over the place, and they may not know the back roads or what it's called. So that important is just to have that base background, and like I said, the information that goes on top of that as well is what comes in from various sources, from the firefighters to satellites to planes or helicopters that have infrared equipment installed on them. And so that infrared flight will cover the entire fire perimeter usually, and that will give us the best idea of where the fire is at currently. And so that intel is really important, and so we're kind of like the elves at night. So it's one of those, when you go to bed, we work all night, and when you wake up in the morning, it's like Christmas morning, new maps are made.